YouTube, this is Bangalore Productions, and in today's video, I'm going to be going over the most basic items you need to get out and get training. So let's picture this, right? We just got our rifle, just got our first AR-15, AK-47, whatever it may be. We just got our first fighting platform, right? We've dabbled a little bit in self-defense with a pistol. Maybe we've shot at the range a couple times with buddies. We've seen plenty of videos now. Maybe we were in the military at one point. It doesn't matter. What matters is we just bought us a rifle with the intent of using it to defend ourselves. Whether that be in a shit defense scenario, a home invasion, or going out hunting and for self-defense against wildlife, right? So, with that being said, in what order of precedence of gear do I need? What's more important? What's not as important? What do I need right away before my first training event, or my first class, or whatever it may be, first time going out in the woods, or what will I need later on down the road as I get more into training and kind of start encompassing all these ideas that I myself have spread on this YouTube channel, that others have spread throughout their channels. So with that being said, we'll start off with obviously your rifle. This is the most important aspect of what you are as a Minuteman, as a guerrilla fighter, whatever it may be. So with our rifle, what are we going to want? Well, do we need an optic? In this day and age, yes. Whether that be a dot, whether that be a like LPVO style optic, getting range on there like a 1:6. We're going to need a flashlight, something to emit light, and preferably iron sights as a backup, but those aren't necessary. Also, you could just run iron sights if that's what you're more comfortable with, if you don't have to worry about batteries or worry about all the things that come with an optic. At the caveat that you will not be able to get as great of a range as you would with a magnified optic. So I'm not going to go over the build or anything, just that whatever kind of optic you're going to run, whatever kind of flashlight you're going to run, and that can change. That is one of the things that will evolve as you use your weapon. You'll see what works and what doesn't. Don't make the same mistake I did and buy stuff for now, like, oh, I'll buy this for now, and then I'll save it and buy something else, because then you're going to wind up in a trap where you have 3 different optics that are all shitty. One is slightly better than the next, but you don't have the one optic that you actually want. Because you spent all that money you could have saved up from just using irons and then bought the optics you actually wanted. And then you're going to need a sling as well. Something to carry your rifle with, sling it across your body. If you don't get anything else and you just rock irons, make sure you get a sling for your rifle. So what's next? We have our rifle. Obviously, we're going to want magazines, make holes, and plug hole in an IFAK. Where are we going to put this? Well, if we're starting out, we don't know what's going to work for us yet. So instead of going out and buying a kit that some YouTubers recommended or that buddies recommended, we are going to just get a good pair of pants, a good pair of cargo pants. They can be surplus ones like these. They could be all the way up to like expensive fjallraven pants. Anything that has pockets, that's comfortable, that will move with you, and it'll breathe good and keep you from, keep you from doing that, losing your stuff, right? So, how are we gonna set this up? We got our pants, right? Got a good pair of shoes on, comfy, could be tennis shoes, could be hiking shoes, could be military boots, doesn't matter. Just something that's comfortable for you, that you prefer. If you had to walk a lot of miles in, that you'll be fine wearing those, right? Medical gear. If we are a right-handed shooter, we're gonna put that in our right cargo pocket. Why? Well, it makes more sense because we're gonna put our magazines we're gonna reload with into our left cargo pocket. So we put 2 magazines in that left cargo pocket, and then I'm going to put another magazine in the top left pocket up here, that hands pocket. So now, that enables me to have 4 magazines, 1 in the gun, 3 at the ready, and then an IFAK with a tourniquet. Now I can make holes and I can plug holes. This is perfect for going to the range with the buds and having a good time. Zeroing your gun, learning some basic marksmanship skills, and running some fun little range setups with your boys, right? So, what else do we need? Ear Pro. Doesn't matter if it's a pair of Pelletors or if it's a pair of these little earplugs. Just know that with Pelletors or any kind of noise cancellation, like high decibel noise cancellation headphones, you're going to be able to hear people around you a lot better than if you had earplugs in. But we're trying to save money, you know, it's our first couple of times going out and training. Just get a pair of earplugs, they're super cheap. And they're reliable. Next, we have a rifle. We have ammo, we have mags, we have medical. We need something to clean our rifle with. Just go to your local gun store, whatever it may be, and buy the most basic rifle cleaning kit and some CLP, and you're ready to go. So now that that's covered, and we have our most basic items for initially your first, I wouldn't say weekend, but your first day of training. Aside from water, but I'm sure you kind of figure that out. You wouldn't go anywhere without water. So moving on, I'm gonna have to move the camera around over here to show you guys my display that I have. But it's gonna be going over precedents of non-firearm related gear. So what you're gonna need other than your rifle to survive out in the elements for that 24 plus op duration. So let's get into that. All right, guys, so the first and most important thing we're gonna need aside from a firearm is water. No matter whether that be in a 32-ounce Nalgene or a 16-ounce, or even just a plastic water bottle that's been spray painted, or a USGI canteen, doesn't matter. Without water, you can only live for 3 days. We all know this, hopefully. So, water, very important. Make sure you have at least 3 liters on you per day. Now, you need to push it up to 5, but if all you can carry is 3, ensure that you have another method of procuring water, whether that be a little bag as this, and then also the purifier itself. So whether that be collecting it from a stream or a river or a lake, pond, whatever it may be, ensure that you can have a collection method as well. If you run out of water, you're gonna die. So now moving on down the tier list, the next most important thing is our tools. So that first tool being our hatchet. We can use that to make a shelter. We can use that to skin an animal. We can use it for a bunch of different things, all right? Next tool, lighter, very important. You can make a fire with it. Got some duct tape on it. Then we have extra duct tape. Then, 25 foot of bank line. Need this, bundle up sticks to make a shelter, whatever it may be. It has a bunch of different uses, along with this extra thing of duct tape. Redundancy is king in some aspects, especially with duct tape, because it can be used for so many different things that you have to do. And then in the survival tin, flint and steel, got some matches and cotton balls. Piece of tin foil, you can use this for keeping your fire. If you're using a small fire to boil water, use it from the flame going out, like a little heat shield. And then iodine tablets. We have some butterfly bandages, button compass, more duct tape, a small water collection bag, and a razor blade at the bottom. Keep in mind, this is mine that I have made myself. You can buy them on the internet, you can buy them in stores. I would say make your own. Now, I didn't just get all these components by themselves. Most of these came out of pre-bought kits that I just moved into this tin that I bought. But yeah, so that's that. This is a survival tin. That's one of your tools. Moving on to your boo-boo kit. This is how you're gonna fix anything caused by this or this. And you could also put antidiarrheals in here in case that doesn't go as planned. Or you can put headache medicine, whatever it may be. Moving on, next tool, protractor. Might be asking where's the compass. I'll get into that later. That is on a different part of this video. Then we have our grid sheet. This is a tool that we can use to create a sector sketch, use as a waterproofing, just notes, write stuff down, keep track of things. So that's our tools, most basic tools that we will need for 24, maybe plus, depending on your skill set. Next, moving into shelter. Got a poncho and some socks. Might be asking, wow, that shelter there's not a lot going on right there. Well, I believe, depending on where you live, I live in a very hot and humid place. That's all I need during this time of the year. Just exchange of socks, keep my feet nice and dry, and something to keep the rain off of me when it starts raining. Whether that be on my person or hanging above me in a tree. I don't need an iso mat right now. I don't need a bivy or a bag at all. It is way too hot for that, even at night. So if I do get cold, I can bundle up some pine straw and make a little iso mat out of pine straw, and I could use an emergency survival blanket if it's permissible to do that. So moving on to the last tier of the list. You might be wondering, why is food at the very end of the tier list? Well, it's not so much because of the whole thing where you can live 3 weeks without food, because I don't care who you are. You might be able to live 3 weeks without food, but you're not gonna be able to do anything after 2 or 3 days without food. So why is it at the end of the tier list, and why do I have 3 cans of nicotine here? Well, I'll get into this. So the reason I have food at the end of the tier list is because with your tools, you can set traps, you can skin game. There are many different ways you can obtain food with your tools, right? And then with your shelter, with your tools, you can make a shelter. So that's why it's water, tools, shelter, and then your food. Now, this isn't you only need water, and you only need water and tools, and you're fine. I mean, if you're crazy like that, that's fine. But so much as like when you're buying items before something, what you should buy first in what order. And we should buy our pre-packaged food like this last. That is just my opinion. And if you have any other opinions on where it should go in the tier list, that's fine. This is just my tier list of what is of the most importance to myself all the way down. The food being the last, it doesn't mean I'm not taking it with me if I have the choice. It means that in order of buying what items I need to buy before I go out to the field, this is the order that I have it in. So then I have my food. Now I have got MREs and Mountain House meals, both good. Have to boil water for this. You don't have to boil water for that. And then nicotine, because I do little nicotine pouches, and without them, I'd go crazy even after a day. So I have that. And then now we will move on to the next part of the video. All right, guys, so I went over the tier list of what you need to get yourself started and your first field training. Now we'll move on to how we're gonna carry it. So whether that be with a rucksack, a 3-day assault pack, or just a day pack, it does not matter. What matters is how you are going to use it and how it will help you. Because at the end of the day, it's about keeping, obviously, your family alive, whatever. But it's about keeping yourself mission ready. So what do I usually carry for 24 to 48 hour training? I just carry a little LBX assault pack. I think it's supposed to be like a 1 day. I don't know how many liters it is, but I've had it for like 5 years, and as you can see, it looks just fine. It's held up extremely well over the years. So obviously I'm not taking all these water sources. I'm not taking all that food for 24 hours or 48, but I take most of it, load it up in a way that's comfortable for me, and that is something that you will have to just kind of mess around with yourself to see what's more comfortable for you. So this pack, your rifle, your mags, your IFAK, and this gear on the table is all you need to get going. You don't need all these fancy chest rigs and plate carriers and Kevlars and bulk helmets and all this stuff that I've talked about, others have talked about before me, and others that people will continue to talk about. Some people will disagree with me. Some people will say, no, that's stupid, Bangalore. You do need all this stuff, and here's why. And I'm sure their argument's very valid, but this is just what I believe. And I know there's other guys out there that have made similar lists that would agree with me as well. But moving on from that, we want to plus up a little bit more, right? We have all the stuff that I've mentioned right now. Now, we're in the market for a rig. we're looking around, we're thinking to ourselves, all right, I want to be able to carry just a couple mags, a fixed blade, a tourniquet, and some navigational equipment and a headlamp. That's the most basic stuff you can carry on your person in a chest rig format. Here we go. All right, here we have it. The most basic chest rig you can assemble yourself. That carries everything I just mentioned, which, believe it or not, is enough stuff to get you going. And in all actuality, it's enough stuff that this is all you'll ever need when it comes to a rig. We're not special forces, we're not infantry, we're guerrilla fighters, we're Minutemen. We don't need a bunch of extra heavy equipment weighing us down and impeding with our movement and impeding with the way we want to operate with that fast, fast strike deadly, whatever. So, yeah, this is all you need. This rig right here. So I have 3 rifle magazines, that's 90 rounds, fixed blade, war knife, and a little Velcro pouch, compass, headlamp, notepad, and a matte pen, which will be replaced with a pencil eventually. Now this is a extremely bare bones and minimal kit setup in total. As you can see, I mean, we're carrying a small mic, like I would call it a mini micro rig, with an assault pack. We have our rifle and all of our survival gear. And at the end of the day, that's all you need. Don't let anybody tell you different. Don't let anybody coerce you into buying stupid stuff. Don't make the same mistakes I have and that others before me have made. Don't go out and watch a YouTube video or see a picture on Instagram and think that, wow, that guy knows what he's doing. I need to have that rig. Or go on Reddit and post about the best setup you can possibly get, because all these guys that just sit around all day and look at gear on the internet are gonna think they know what works, but until they've actually gone out and done things, they're not gonna know what actually works. So if that hits you in the actually all hurt, I'm talking about you. You need to go out and you need to go train. So with that being said, guys, that's it. I'll reiterate from the beginning. You need you a good pair of pants that can carry good cargo pockets. You can carry magazines, carry medical, a good pair of footwear. I got my trusty Vans NTEs on. Had them for how long now? Like 7 months, and they've held up just fine so far, and I love them. Aside from that, you're going to need all the items I mentioned on this table. You can rewind and check them out again. And a day pack, a 3-day assault pack, a ruck, whatever that may be, depending on how long you expect to be gone and how much items you will need to sustain yourself for that duration of that time you're gone. And then for your rig, this is it. A lot of people argue saying you need plate carriers, saying you need a battle belt, saying you need a belt rig, saying you need all this and that, but you really don't. Countless nations, or not even nations, countless people all over the world, to this day, people are running around barefoot with AK-47s and doing damage. So, that's just because they have to fight like that doesn't mean you have to fight like that. That's just an example of a fight light mentality, right? Stay light, stay fit, obviously, and stay dangerous, guys. There's not much to it. I guess I'll answer the question now before I get much comments about it. About armor is like, okay, you're saying I don't need armor. Like, no, that's not what I'm saying. And if you want to get a Kevlar, you want to get armor, by all means, get it. But just know that that is the weight that you're also going to have to carry around. There's no way to carry around it. You're always going to have that weight on. And as soon as your plate gets hit, yes, you're still alive, but now you also don't plate anymore. But at the end of the day, you're also still alive. And if I got shot by plates, I'm fucking dead. But my plan, which is everybody's plan, is to not get shot. It's to be fast, strike hard, and get out of there as quick as possible. And yeah, that's all I got for you guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. Got everything laid out for you guys, and have a great rest of your weekend. I hope you guys had a great 4th of July. Ding Moore signing off.